Happy Halloween, everybody. Yesterday, we gave you the Detroit Lions first half and Detroit for the game, and we said that the line should have been 12 instead of 7. Ended up Detroit Lions won by 12, so that was pretty prophetic. Hope you all took advantage of those two winners that came in clean. On many days, we're going to go through our international best-selling book that we wrote called How to Bet Like a Pro, and give you strategies that have been used by us for decades, or when in game, we're going to talk about today. Once that became available, we tailored our strategies to make money on in-game as well as the regular games. So how do we do it? First of all, the book is on Amazon. It's How to Bet Like a Pro. There's free downloads. There's 99-cent downloads, and the book itself is reasonably priced if you want to pick it up for yourself. But on this channel, we're going to go ahead and explain some of the key strategies that we've been using to win. On in-game strategies, you really need to follow the trends. This is the same thing as if you're going to be betting first half sides totals, or at halftime you're going to bet sides and totals. You want to track how the teams perform early on in games and how they close. Lots of times they will fall into patterns where they are doing really well at the beginning of the games and fade late, or they don't start off well, but they finish strong. Those will all give you some tremendous opportunities. In basketball, the spread is so important to keep track of when you get close to the end of the game, when you get to 10 minutes or less. If the game is close, you're going to have more likely you're going to have scoring because both sides are going to keep their starters in. If the game is 20 points, 15, 30 points separated, the starters are going to get pulled on maybe both teams, but definitely on the team that's ahead. They're going to want to rest their starters. So that's going to lead to generally lower point production, and also the team that pulls their starters may not do as well in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game. So you want to keep track of how teams close, and then also keep in mind what the separation is as you get closer to the end of the game. It gives you a lot of great betting opportunities. In baseball, you want to know the bullpens. Do they have a good closer? Who comes in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings? If they do not have a good bullpen, wow, you're set up perfect. The team may be winning or barely losing, or it could be tied, but you know that one bullpen's better than the other bullpen. Well, the algorithms aren't good enough to really account for all of that. So you'd have the big advantage of taking the team with the better bullpen. Also, you can look at the lineups. Who's batting? Who's batting next? What part of the lineup is it? Is it the top of the order? Is it the bottom of the order? And who's hot, who's not on the team? You can really get some advantages in knowing who's coming up in the next inning as well. So those are things you want to look for. In hockey, as you know, if you're a bet on hockey, if a team is down at the end, they will often pull their goalie, which creates an empty net situation, which is going to create easy scoring. Makes a big difference. In the last minute and a half, you'll see that empty net come into play a lot, which means there'll be an extra goal on the total, and also the team that's ahead has the advantage of scoring more in that type of a situation. In the NFL and college football, same thing we talked about in basketball. If a team gets way ahead, they're going to pull their starters. So sometimes you'll see a spread of 30 or 31. A team jumps out in the first half, they're up by 28, and then beginning of the third quarter, they're up by 35 or 42. Do you want to take that team, or do you want to take the other team? Well, look at the history. What's that coach do? Does the coach pile it on and keep going, playing the starters, or do they start killing the clock? And if they start killing the clock, that's what they do. You've got two plays. You can bet on the underdog, and you can bet on the under for the rest of the game. These are the types of things that you always want to keep in mind. This is just one little tiny section of this book, which has 285 pages of winning strategies and proof of all the different winning streaks we've gone on expertfreepicks.com. Go to our site, expertfreepicks.com, look at all the runs we've gone on. Look at all the times we've taken a small amount of money and ran it into millions or hundreds of thousands, many, many, many times, using a round robin system and using the strategies in this book. So go to expertfreepicks.com, just give us your email and you're in. We'll send you the picks, and make sure you subscribe or follow these videos so that you will always get them when they come out. We're doing them every day now. Thank you very much.